I just changed the symbology to show you. No. I haven't done anything else. I just found the red one and clicked on it. Alright?
How to change symbology again?
Double click here.
Where?
Double click on the one that you want to change.
Oh.
If I click the white car by accident, double click on the one that for you.
Yes.
Does it take one that was already there?
Can we do this later?
Is this a creative
I need
one?
to go through this.
Okay, for a second, how's that?
So I'm still doing open art surgery. I'm still doing edit session. Everything I clicked right now, I need to save.
How does it change the color? You double click on.
In this case, like double click on the symbol
Oh, okay.
and
Or
change
you go
it.
back over to.
Whatever you want.
Got it.
Alright, right now, I need to save this. And you are in a edit session. So in an edit session, you go here to the editor again, click on here on the arrow, and say save edits. If I want to check if it's saved my edits, I can right click on my cars and say open attribute table. And now I can see this little table popping up, and I created 7 points.
Right click on your cars.
I'm sorry.
Right click on the cars, open attribute table. I do this again. Right click, like highlight cars, right click on it and say attribute table. And it'll pop up like this. This is the table we have looked at in our catalog. Same style. Alright. I clicked all the white cars. Sorry, red cars. I clicked all the red cars. It doesn't say red car in it. Why?
We didn't.
I clicked on the red cars.
Oh, we never entered that.
We never told our data that you are going to be a red point, a red car. Yeah?
The bookmark.
So in an edit session, first of all, see I have a highlight here. This is the deselect clear selection. I want to unselect everything. In an edit session, my table looks different here on the top. I have gray shaded and I have white colored field names. Might not look on my screen that way, but on yours definitely. That means I can write in there like it would be an Excel file. So I can go and click here and call it red, RED. I need to make sure that I don't have an accidental space or blank. And I need to make sure that I'm going to write that in capitalized or non-capitalized way. Because a red with a capitalized and a red with small caps is 2 different things. Typos, different thing. So all our colors here are going to be small cap. So I can do this for each, which is for 7 not really a problem. But it's somewhat boring, is it? What if you have hundreds of them? Well, there's also the function called a field calculator. That is chapter 1 or 2 still. If I click the field calculator, and I will repeat this over and over and over. No? I also can say, it's like in Excel, color equals
Red.
string RED. So now this is the complicated part. Do I need to write this in quotation marks or not?
Yes. No.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it not. See? Process errors, errors, errors. So because we're dealing with text,
You gotta put it in
we
quotation.
need to have quotation marks.
Yep.
Bing, done.
The Bing.
What happened?
Alright,
What happened to if you're using the field calculator and you have more than one color,
and then you use the other color, green, will it change everything to green?
Oh yeah, we're getting there. Huh? So this is the global change. Right now, because I have nothing selected here, right now I do the global change. Everything in that column, like in Excel, copy and paste, whoosh, down. Yeah?
So what's that last step again?
Last step is field calculator.
Right.
Right click on there, activate field calculator, and like you know from Excel, the field color equals a function. In this case, the function is quote red road.
Don't you have to click on
So you always have to
string?
put them in quotation.
If it's a text field, typically you do. And you usually also double check that this is string because you can use functions. And some of those functions you have seen from Excel. So Danilo, if I would now do this reddish, it changes the whole global. Let's stick with the easy stuff right now. I need to get you to understand the easy stuff and have that repeated. I'm going to go back to this and call it red. Someone just had a happy calculator. Alright. Same thing with the geometry and the shape. It's not saved yet. We gotta save our edits. Save edits in the editor field. Alright? So why do I have red cars? I have red color in the table, but why is my triangle here still green?
Because you changed it.
Because that's what you,
Yeah, as you change the data field on the cars and not the triangles.
No? Close, but no? Why?
Because that's the shape you pick, and the color.
Because the green triangle right now reflects only the position of my car. It does not yet reflect anything else from my data table. It only goes with this point, location. Does not know yet what is what in terms of categories. Huh? Remember we had in the beginning, you plug in the data, like the McDonald's stuff, and you pop up as one single feature, everything looks the same. And then the assignment, let's say you change to population and other data, and then you actually had the opportunity to change based on the amount of population, the color code. Well, this is something we're doing here too. Okay, to make this worthwhile, let's make more cars first, and then add more to the coloring.
Hey, Professor, what if, you know how how we just went to the field calculator and we did the string or whatever, what if it doesn't populate all of the columns?
What do you mean, not all?
Like it jumped, like I had 1 through like 12 red and then it kind of jumped to
No.
red at the end. So I just like, man,
How many points did you click?
all the red.
It wasn't a typo.
Wasn't that accurate? He was tripping.
Well, that's okay.
I manually put these in, but like.
You manually
put these
Right click on it, the field calculator.
Eager beaver.
Right?
Red.
Gave it to Jarvis to say
Yeah.
something.
Trade.
Zero to
Trade, okay.
click.
That's what I did before, but it didn't populate all of that. So a lot of times I look at
Oh, you have one selected. That's the reason why you have one selected, you got the other selection in the one. Good. All right. Want to do more cars?
Yay.
Hey, you ladies like that.
Yay. Let's do more
Alright.
cars.
7th inning. All right. Next one. And Chavez. Just 6 or 7, that's good enough. I want to go.
But hold this D and keep going. Like to Control Z.
I'll just keep you guys on the.
Click on the zoom.
I want to find now a bunch of white cards.
And then just keep drawing
Huh?
the box. And it's gonna keep
So I'm going to do this like here again.
Z to draw the box.
Click on cars, and I could now place. You can see I'm using the triangle right now, so it shows me the triangle to place white cars. I'm going to do just like 2 or 3. This guy here, this guy, and maybe this one. Huh? It doesn't matter which one exactly. It's just about that you see, that you read or the photography, identify a white car or cars by color, and then activate that. So if you look at your table, it added 4 more in this example, and I unselect everything here with clear selection. 4 more, but I didn't get white in there as a color. There's a different way to do it automated, but I want to show you how to do it manually again. So how would I change now that blank here into white?
Select,
Select, right, white.
select and,
Type it in.
A point, just for those, do the point.
Alright, first one, I could do this and do this manually. Because I'm in an edit session, I could type in white. Yeah? With 1 or 2, perfectly fine. 20, 500, hell no. Yeah? Rule of thumb is between 30 and 50, you need to deal with automation. Because you don't want to waste time on this. Alright, I don't want to waste time on 4. So, and I don't want to waste time on this because every time I type manually, I can cause a typo. Like Jarvis had a space or blank RED. That would be a completely different color. Huh? So, Danilo said select. I'm going to select all the ones that are supposed to be white, and I do this in this case with my control key pressed down. And I click on these 4 here. Alright? So you can see on the map the selection has changed. They're highlighted in bluish. Or Ellen, in Ellen's case it would be red. Did you change it back? Last time you went over there you did everything in red, didn't you? Yeah.
No, not blue.
So I have 4 selected ones. You can see this here at the bottom as well. It says 4 out of the 11 selected. Now we do a magic trick. Please watch the screen. These 2 buttons down here, this one says show all the records, and this one says selected records. If I click that, only my 4 selected ones are shown. That means, that's being really mean, if you're on a playground, you pick 4 bad boys from the playground and hold them up and say, guys, the way you do this here right now is not fair. Yeah? Get off, stop bullying kids. This is what we're going to do with those guys. Literally cornered them in and said, yeah? And we're going to use the field calculator. Yes?
why does he select one more than one you selected?
Because it's an open data table, open heart surgery, and don't worry about this right now. Yeah? So, we're using field calculator. How are we going to use the field calculator to change the color field?
How, you said how are we going to use it?
Quote, white.
One step before that. What are we doing?
You have to right click on the
Right click.
right
Right
click
click.
color.
On the field we want to change color. Right click, field calculator,
Color string.
text. And now we type in again, quote, white,
Why am I laughing?
quote,
Is that how you say it?
yeah?
So bad. You said to wake up.
Yeah, why wait now?
Wait for it. Ha! Alright, so this worked for everyone?
Yep.
Alright, now I'm going back to this. Oh wait, no. Let's show you the trick. In case you do this at home and you get confused. Stay on the selection here, yeah, show selected, and I clear the selection with clear selection. Why is that gone? Why don't I see anything here right now?
Because there's no data.
Because I cleared my selection and I'm only looking at selected features. Right now I have 0 of 11 selected. So if you do this at home, let's say for the assignment number 2, and you do this field calculator thing, and you see a screen like this right now, no panic. You are in the selection view on 0 selected. You can't see what you haven't selected. All right, let's go back. And you have your whites. Okay? Save your edits with editor. Save edits. And since I want to finish now the points instead of 3 other colors, I'm going to say stop editing. In case
Which
you
editor?
editor,
And the save edits?
save edits, and then stop editing. Again, if you do edits all over, digitizing all over time, occasionally need to save the edits. If you digitize for 5 hours and did not save your 500 points, all those points will be gone. All operations on the open heart surgery will be gone. It's like you never started it. Huh? Again, my rule of thumb, depending on your work pace and your experience, click a few, save. Click a few, save. Back in the old days, this is where your computer would crash. Yeah? And then boom, everything is gone. Alright, one more thing we need to do. Now we still have those green triangles. I want to change that. I want to change the symbology, therefore I go double click here or right click with properties. And move from single symbol to categories. We'll call my value field color. And since I know I only have 2 pieces in there, I click add all the values and make my arrangements. Like red could be red. And white could be
How do you go to
white.
layer properties?
And then just hit OK, and you should see something like that.
Wow.
I'll do that one more time. No, that one.
Symbology, categories. So you have to go to Symbology tab, then you find the categories, use as value
Let me
field
live.
color, and then add all values.
Okay, now you just change.
Click the button, add all values. Ta-da! Yep, then you change it the way you want it.
White.
I get to you, I can't see this.
How do I get this?
And the what?
Cars, properties.
Yep. Okay.
Properties.
Okay.
Symbology,
Oh, we
categories.
didn't do the.
Add all, the value field is color. Value field is color. Value field. And then add all values, adjust to your pleasure. Alright, go to categories. You're almost there. Categories, show the categories. Use the value field for color. Same thing here, you're doing single symbol right now. You need to do values. Yeah, you need values, and then you do value field equals color, value field.
Wait, how do you make this?
Yeah, color,
Like the different size.
and then add all
I like it
values.
smaller, because mine's telling me.
This needs to be color, because you want to map out for color. And then click all values, click all values. And then map it out. Alright. Everyone got these? Like the 2 different symbols by category now? Oh, first of all, your cars are underneath the road, so you gotta change that. Take a look. Value fields, categories, unique values, value field color, add all the colors. Looks different, make the arrangements like you want them. Huh? Alright, so one thing to remember is, in this example, if you have red cars, it might actually make sense to use red as a color, yeah, to symbolize that, and not purple. Yeah, you could, but you shouldn't. Alright? Alright, save everything. Just save. And we're doing a 3-minute break.
3-minute break?
3-minute break.
You cut up? I have no clue what the computer just did.
You should let him.
Yeah, tell him to come over here, because he just helped he just did it for Jarvis, because Jarvis was doing it too. Well, I just got it to here, and then this happened. You gotta zoom out, I have no clue what just happened.
No, he was a Swedish yeah, it was a book.
No problema. What? You said no problema.
Yeah, it's
G and your
I always mess up.
Oh, here it went.
I can't. I just can't.
Alright, you know how many online lectures I am narrating? So minute 52.
Didn't we say Carlos had a timer on his?
Right. We should give him tickets.
Seriously.
London Commission.
He only has 3
It's actually published, it was later published as the Our Common Future. In 87. Published in 87 before it's
Hurricane party? I didn't have a hurricane. Did you have a hurricane party?
I only goes power for 5 hours, so I did.
I didn't get an invite, so I don't know.
Preceding the
I don't know, how was it?
I was pretty lonely.
That's basically like the
So I have to invite
early
people next time you have a
scripture
hurricane
of
party.
sustainability and sustainable development and all the
I wanted to make it. That's what
resources.
I got a text on.
So,
Yeah, I know the fucking fools of my neighborhood. That hurricane walking outside, taking selfies and Snapchatting. I was like, these morons. And I was like watching the trees fall. I'm like, ah, it hits you because you're dumb.
Where do you live?
I live in Bayberry Lake. So a bunch of people were like walking and like Snapchatting. And I was like, what are you doing?
Because we thought it was they probably thought it was going to be more horrible.
No, but still.
Yeah.
We had a lot of trees falling.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you don't know what's going to happen. So you're putting yourself at risk for it. To tell your friends, hey, I'm going to get over a hurricane. It's not like
I know. My dad let Hurricane Matthew,
Huh?
when it was hitting
yeah,
us.
he's
Like,
you
went
can
for
go
a run.
weekend.
He was like, oh.
Yeah, and I like
Are you
the
left
kid
it?
that died when he
300.
was so
It's like the best time to
It's
visit.
not that
were
big.
they
It's
waiting
just
really
this
serious
one.
and perfect?
I know.
It's like,
There are different versions.
if I make it, you know, if I die.
Hurricane. You see stuff differently.
Okay.
She got in the comment.
I know, right? Oh, you guys are actually taking me seriously.
Yeah,
I
listen.
appreciate that.
It's called
I was
solidarity.
just going to
Hashtag.
Hi, can you come over
We're
here
doing
to
the
catch me up in your 3 minutes? 3-minute breaks?
Which was already.
This is where I am.
You guys have too much fun.
Yes, they make the class enjoyable. I mean, you do too. It's gonna add on to it. If you could just help me get up.
You are speaking into the microphone here, you know that.
I know, we haven't said anything indecent.
Oh, okay, good.
She's been the one cracking the jokes about your accent, which has been making the class enjoyable.
Not about your accent.
Not about your accent.
Not at all.
Just Z's and W's.
What you went over.
But it's been enjoyable.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not overreacting here, okay?
I appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, what do you need? All right, you want to check?
I like this,
All right, so
today's,
you want?
lesson, yeah.
So you're cool.
Yeah, we're good, I'm good.
Hey, focus on TS.
I am. Sorry about that.
All right, so you need to change the symbology. So go to Cars, Property, go to the Symbology tab. And then, because you don't want to have everything look the same, you don't want to have everything look the same. You might want to change to categories, not single layer, single feature. So X out. Going to the left and look at categories. Now you take the value field for color.
Yeah.
Haha, someone doesn't have that. Did you save your edits? Did you save your edits from your edit session?
I think she may be missing the shapefile, a few
All right,
steps.
let's do this.
Okay.
Let's check this out. So
Because she doesn't even have the table.
Yeah,
of the,
you are empty. So what in your case happened is that you did the exercise with all the digitizing,
yeah.
and you didn't save your edits.
Okay.
So all the fun stuff is gone, even
The fun stuff.
the fun stuff.
What is supposed to say?
Well, first of all, add a field called color, then digitize all the red cars here in the parking lot, and then digitize the white cars in the parking lot. And the step in between is that you make sure that the color field is so-called populated with the color red and white.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and the
not
video
there yet.
shows that perfectly fine. And we're pretty much done with it.
He was like,
That's
"Bring it to
it.
me Saturday."
No? So, all right, let's get this done. Are you ladies going to be okay?
Yeah.
All right. You sure? Really sure? All right. Break is over.
Week is over.
All right. So I have these. I have my red colors now turning from purple back in red. It has to be a little bit more consistent here. I'm missing out on the blue, and otherwise it would be a patriotic mapping exercise. So what I'm going to do now is one more step to finish the points. I have digitized, I have assigned color code, I have assigned color code in the table and in the symbology. But I also want to write it out and say this is white and this is red. Therefore, I'm going to label this. I'm going to go right-click on Cars, Properties, and go to the Label tab. And label is one very complicated relationship. Yeah? It can easily mess up your life if you're labeling like 500,000 or just 1,000 data points, because it will take forever. So what I want to do is I want to label the color code of these points here. For that, I'll first activate label features in this layer. There's another way to do this, but since we're here, we're doing this that way. Wait, you're one step ahead. And I hit apply. And on your screen and on mine, you can see that there's some blurby thing going on here now with labels. Yeah? But I can't see that stuff yet.
No, so
I
you have
could
to
change
the
the
color.
symbol here and make this bigger, like 14, hit apply. I still can't read it.
We gotta change the color.
We could change the color, or we can use the tool, like Carlos said, the halo. And the halo is a hidden thing. The halo is, I'll look at this first please, and then you have time to click it with me the second time. I click on symbol. I click on edit symbol. Click on mask, halo, okay, okay, and apply.
Okay.
This is way complicated, but it's very helpful. Okay, I do this again. I do this from scratch. I right click on cars, properties. Go onto the tab called labels. Activate labels in that layer. Make sure that I look at color for labeling. Might change my size here, but for sure, to highlight my labels, I do what we call a halo. Symbol, edit symbol, mask, halo. Looks better with just one. Click OK, click OK, and take a look at the screen. This is a halo of 2. With my OK, the halo changed to 1. It's a little bit more clear. If you do halo of 1, 1.5, or 2, that depends on your personal gut feeling and how it will look on the screen. Okay?
Oh, can you repeat that? No, I'm just trying
Cars,
to that.
properties.
No, I'm not saying the steps. I'm saying what you just said.
Alright. So to make this map more readable, with a background like this, with the campus as a background or area of geography, it's more feasible to actually use a halo to offset your labels. If you use that halo with setting of 1, 1.5, or 2, that is here, properties, labels, symbol, edit symbol, tap the mask, here, this setting. It doesn't matter, as long as you put a halo on it.
You tap on the mask.
Yeah.
Tap the mask, activate halo, in this case with 1, hit OK, hit OK, hit OK. Next week we're doing ArcGIS Pro. I think it's just on the front page, the button. Huh? We'll see how we get there.
Question. Is there a way to tell it to put all of the labels to the upper right of the symbol?
Yes. It's placement. Quick. This is not relevant for the assignment. It's just for excitement. Properties. Again, I only did this button here. All these give you power to deal with them. You even can write code for that. So placement properties, and you can actually choose which kind of location you want to have. Yeah? So I can use this one here instead. Hit OK. Now it has changed. If you get in trouble with labeling. Okay? Save. All right, let's repeat those steps, what we have done in the last 2 hours, ish, 1 hour. We created a shapefile in ArcCatalog. We created a point shapefile. We named it, we found its projection, we added a field for color, then we put it back into ArcMap, open up an edit session, digitize points, assigned color code, saved everything, created a map showing our results. Tough job, good job. This was the 101 of doing digitizing. Yeah? That is not an easy task. And you guys did that already. There are folks who cannot do that. Huh? Because they never learned that, really. They learned everything else, but not really like how to do the hard scraping work. It's like peeling potatoes in the kitchen. Yeah? Everyone is doing the fancy dishes. No, you just learn how to deal with the basics of potatoes. Now, potato is a base food. So what? This is not German heritage. This is about hard work in the kitchen. Yeah? Everything, if you ever peeled more than 10 pounds of potatoes at one piece, you're good. All right. What did I start out with this lecture today? We have 3 different types in that data. We have point, polylines, and polygons. Let's do polylines again. again, this is a repeat. Same steps, variations, but same steps what we have done with the points. Huh? We'll see if we get the polygons in. Yeah, we should. We should. All right. What was our first step when we created our point shapefile? We used
Our catalog
Our catalog.
to create the.
in ARC catalog. This is my ARC catalog in front of me right now. And Mariella, I know you said you come late. We're doing exactly now what we have done prior to that, 4 different types. Instead of points, we're doing polygons. Pretty much the same. Huh?
Professor, real quick, did you put the video of the class on YouTube? From the last class that we had, the first class that we had?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You did?
same night.
Same night? Okay.
Because what I do is after all that, I take the chip card,
Yeah.
plug it into my computer in the office,
Yeah.
and go home, sit on my couch, remote with the laptop into the office,
that's
and
fine.
upload.
I just couldn't find it, and
Because
it's
the
really
university is a little bit faster than Comcast.
yeah, it's really helpful to be able to refer back to the videos when we.
And with the hurricane sessions, we're doing most of the applied stuff today, what I mentioned in the lecture. I will give you special cases online, video stuff. Yeah. So when we talk about select features, I try to give you a 5-minute wiki on how to do this with our own school data. Yeah. Even though it's written in the book, even though we go through this, I really try over the next week to give you really small pieces to that. Not necessarily to catch up all of the class time, but make sure that everything we touch in this class has proper knowledge and is fostered in the handling for you guys. Huh? So I can, with pure conscience, can say, you're experts in digitizing, you're experts in moving data from one way to the other way. Huh? In some case, someone calls me up and says, hey, can you give us a reference for this guy? And that happens. And I'm doing this very happily to do as a letter of reference for a phone call. Because I know exactly what you have done here with me. And that's the reason why I'm a little bit tense here and there, even with the C's and the Z's. Just kidding. All right. In our folder, digitizing, Maria might want to steal the data from someone else from the first part. Okay. And what he also did is we have a base map for campus. So this is the only thing you really need to speed up to pull it in. In our folder of digitizing, how are we going to create a new shapefile?
Right clicking.
Right click on it,
Yeah.
new, in our catalog.
Yeah, shapefile.
Right click on it, new, shapefile. I want to call it paths, like walking paths. I want to take the type of polyline, yeah, and I will use the coordinate system again here. Want to do edit? Are you okay with me?
Yeah.
I do edit, and I mentioned that there are different ways to do this. Let's stick to the way we introduced today. So we have it all the time the same one. I'm going to do geographic coordinate systems, scroll down to world, click on world, scroll down to WGS 1984, and click OK.
How do you get to the special, I got it, XY coordinate, right?
Edit, geographic coordinate system, world, and then down here, WGS 18,
I clicked on the wrong
1984.
thing.
Click OK. I double check again my setup. Paths, polyline, and then something like WGS 1984. Was that a wave? Ah, you can wave. Okay, fine. What?
Special, how do you get to the special spatial properties?
Edit button down here, the little spatial reference properties. Select WGS in the geographic coordinate system, world. Scroll down. and this one.
If I'm already out of the path.shp, how do I get back into it? Click on it?
Delete and do a new one.
Really?
Yep. And I hit OK. If everything worked out fine, I should see path here. I will not see anything in the preview. Why don't I see anything in the preview?
Because we don't have anything.
Because it's blank. Same thing here in the table. Should be blank, empty.
Paths.
How many steps? I was just
Oh,
the steps. I
No, I left my
because
glasses.
I know I'm not gonna remember any of this stuff after.
Well, come up down here.
So, okay.
Is that better for you?
I don't want to restart down there, so I'll just.
Oh, hey! As a mix between suffering from afar and not catching up from near, you know? Vice versa. Yep, cool, okay. Hit it. Yeah?
Is he on preview or context?
On that note, we have next week hurricanes let ours again, you know? This room you can use for practice on Tuesdays 4-6, 6-8, Thursdays 6-8, Fridays 6-8. You can ask actually, this is a reserved time for this class, you can ask to have this room opened up. They are also in the first room next, when you come in to the left, in the far left corner, 4 stations, different version number, but GIS installed. If you don't have the GIS on your computer at home, there is a lot of accessibility for this computer lab. And next week, because of the hurricane, I changed my office hours. So I'm going to be here Tuesday evening and Thursday evening to give you questions in all the classes, but urge you guys, there are certain functions and handling on the software you need to practice by yourself. Shifting, move things around, knowing where, what kind of tab is. This is what you repeat, repeat, repeat. Yeah? How to add data. All these different ways. Repeat. Because the more time you repeat and you know, okay, I can press that button here, or I can drag and drop here, it's increasing your speed and workflow, your efficiency. Because most of you, your struggle is, where is my function? Where is the button I need to click?
Yeah.
What does he want from me right now? Yeah? And the more you repeat this, and the book really helps. For some, don't click all the exercises in the book. Just look at the screenshot and read the instructions through. That's how I also do my class. I click here, change here, do this, click OK. And explain prior to that the purpose for it. Because it helps you to move through that process. Like how to open a door. Well, the door first of all has to be closed to make that function. And then I have to twist the door handle, locate the door handle, twist the door handle, open the door, walk through.
Yep.
Simple.
Simple.
If you're 3 years old, it's not. Can I have an echo, please?
She's so funny.
No.
Making fun of the German.
Jesus, guys. A few more hours today. No, it's fun. I'd rather give you that, like, okay. Paths. So paths are empty, table and a geometry, okay?
Okay.
How do I add paths now to my map?
Drag and drop.
If I have both windows open,
Yep.
like this, simply drag and drop. Oh, wrong. Sometimes to hit the escape button helps.
We don't need a field name?
Nope, we're not going to add something. Alright.
You just did that?
Paths are here, I put paths on top. Yeah. Let me move out a little bit to 1 to 1,000,
You just
so I have a
shifted
little
it
bit
over.
more, and
Yep.
move around a little bit. No? I think, Ellen, I think the understanding of how to add the fields and change the was pretty clear. So you don't need to do that for that path. I want to show you the geometry.
How
of
do I
that.
get rid of this?
All right. So I have this loaded, and I do hit save again. Next step, I want to go into open heart surgery and do my thing. Yeah. So for that, Mariella or Mariella?
Maria. No A.
Maria.
Maria. You might want to right click here and activate the editor.
Okay.
Right click up here on the tools and hit editor. Everyone else should have this here already. Alright, so editor. I open up an edit session with the function called start editing. Again, if my data is in different locations on my computer, like here I have digitizing and then McDonald's in a different folder, you might see that screen. If everything is in the same folder, like in your assignment folder as an example, you should not have that.
So where you went to edit?
Was that a request for help?
No, yes.
I'm going to set you apart next time.
No, you said to do start.
Yeah, but you're still in an edit session.
Okay, so I'm fine?
No, save the edits. Stop editing.
And then start.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry, where did you go? I was on the track.
Editor.
Killing the musketeers.
Did you close your edit session earlier? In this case, save all of your edits, please. Editor. Go to editor. Save edits. Stop editing. Go to editor again. Stop editing. Alright. Add your paths. From our catalog forward to ArcMap.
Where did you click on editor? Yeah. Open editor.
Page of the map. You gotta arrange your windows. Put it in there.
And this is just showing us what we have in our path? Yeah.
Paths.
Or the data.
The data was in the path.
Yeah. Drag and drop. And drop it in your map. Alright, now we go back to ArcMap. And start edit session. Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Don't move it.
If the path,
Okay.
if our path is at the bottom, is that okay? If our path is at the bottom, is it okay? Yours is at the
Yeah.
top? Okay.
Alright. For some of you, you might actually have seen something like this. Here. Start editing and it's grayed out. That means it's not available. That means you are already in an edit session. For that, because we did the point before in cars, you might not have closed out your edit session. That means your patient is still on table, chest open, heart pulsing. Yeah? Not cool. Because now you put patient number 2 next to him or her. So for that, before you start another digitizing editing session, close out the first one. Make sure that you save your edits. Save edit, stop editing. Typically, when you do stop editing, it will ask you, do you want to save your edits? Yes, because you lose otherwise your work. Alright, so I loaded paths. Now you can see my edit session is not active. All the edit stuff is grayed out, but this. Alright, got rid of cars. Paths is on the table. Let's open up to paths. This turns into a medical lecture here, but I'm going to open up now the rib cage. Huh? So you could see, you don't have to if it's in the same directory, but you could see this and you confirm that you want to deal with paths and click OK. If you get this, we know McDonald's in our example is a little bit off. We are fine. We are fine because we don't digitize McDonald's. Yeah? We're looking at paths.
I don't know why yours is supposed to
Our
be
window here, the create feature window, now has cars in it and paths. If I click on paths, I can see that I have actually different construction tools. I want to use line.
Professor, how do I bring the create features and construction lines to
Should pop up automatically in your edit session.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, your tabs are actually point features right now. So go back.
Clica em
to
paths,
the shape
aí
file
vai,
with lines.
aí ali embaixo vai aparecer.
Okay.
Yeah, apareceu.
You're cool?
Yeah, good.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right. If you see on your right in the create features, there's a button for that too. Create features has a button. If you don't see create features, like oops, it's gone. It's actually hidden down here with editing tools, create feature. Yeah, pops up. If you see a point here, you created the wrong shapefile. Again, please look up. If you see a point here, you created the wrong shapefile. Okay, it has to be a line in this case. When we move over, remember we had a point sitting on the tip of our mouse pointer? Now we have crosshairs. We're in an edit session, so it changed it. Yes, Charles? Was it a scratch or was it a...
No, it was. So can you go into in the arc map, can you change from the point to the...
No, you can't change it. It's like you come to a party and bring old vinyl and everyone wants to have CDs. Doesn't work.
Right, so
Yeah? You gotta have that thing the way it's supposed to be. Yes?
It won't save my app.
Okay. Yeah. You're in an edit session. You're perfectly fine right now.
No, well, when I tried to save it,
You also create paths as point there. It should be actually a polygon.
no, I did it when you were standing here, so whatever you did,
Sorry. Okay. Ready for some path settings?
No.
Polyline. Alright. So if I want to digitize the footpath around the parking lot, this guy here. Yeah? What I'm going to do is I start here at this corner-ish, it's a footpath, so I try to hit the center. Yeah? And click only once into it. One click only. Alright?
The little red.
One little red dot. And you can see that there's a line following that dot if I move around. Again, if I want to build a line, a polyline, I need to have one little dot. It's my starting point. Yeah? Then I draw to the direction I want to go, click again, next direction, click again, next direction, click again, and at the end, maybe I want to do a double click to close it. All right? Let's do this. So I want to follow this path. I do a single click here once, maybe here and here. Then I go up here, turn down to the south, and around this area I double click. The moment I double click and so-called close that polyline, it should show up as a highlighted section. Got that?
Got it.
Want to do it again?
No.
Now polyline? Okay. Let's do this in front of the building. Randomly start here, go down here, double click, created another one. Huh? I can even go and say, you know what? I click here and go through. There's a tree, but I can assume underneath the tree is the path going through I do this, and since I'm lazy, I'm doing this really weird double click. Yeah?
Dr. Wurtzer, is there any way to undo your editing?
That's a great question.
There are different ways to do this. Let's get rid of the basement for you, visualization purposes. Yeah? Different ways to do that. First of all, I haven't saved anything yet on my edits. So all of those three guys are pretty much like just in limbo. Yeah? Then I can actually go in here with the edit tool or with the current selection. If I am selected in the edit session, look at this. Let me show you the table too. The zigzag here right now is highlighted. I can delete that highlight, that selection, with the delete button or with the X. Delete selected.
Wait, how did you do that again? Sorry.
All right, let me select another one.
What's the editor?
Oh. If this is selected, I click the delete select button or escape, delete, and it's gone.
Okay.
Huh? There's also
Just if it's still not saved, the edit.
Can't you just
It's
click
so-
on
in an
it?
edit session. In an edit session, even a saved one can be deleted like that.
So from this screen, you leave here, you go to another screen.
Did that answer your question how to delete the feature?
Yes, but I couldn't follow you.
Alright, so what if I click like this, digitize into the building, and then that? Yeah? A little bit more complex, but still okay. I go here to the edit part, edit tool, and gently double click this guy.
Where it says editor,
Here,
but then you went over to base.
editor.
map.
And the reason that I deactivate this so you can see this better.
Okay.
Yeah? So you can see the green node. This is the start point here. This is the end point. If I want to move that point here, I hover over it with the edit function here, hover over it, and I would need the base map to make the alignment properly, to actually say, see how this moves right now? Temporarily, you double click it or save the edits, and then actually rewrite it then perfectly in there. For the purpose of this class, for the first baby steps of digitizing, if you click all over the place by accident for one of these, I recommend to delete the thing and click those 5 more lines again. Don't get too complicated with these edits.
So what do you hit, delete sketch?
Yeah, you can also delete the sketch, which is the same thing, like hit the delete button.
Okay, got it.
All right?
Thank you.
All right, so what I want to do now with this is I want to save my edits, stop the edits, and then I want to change the symbology of paths, and just for a simple thing, I highlight them as highways. Redefine here. Redefine symbology, and I put highlights on express, because I don't want to have this super cool looking, I just want to have them stand out a little bit on the map.
So can you do that one more time?
So I change settings here from the symbology, double click on it,
Okay.
hit as highway, just to have some predefined settings to show some contrast. Okay?
I'm okay.
You guys are okay here?
All good. Could you just do that one more time?
I need a
please?
counterpart for those
Right,
guys
could you
here.
do-
You guys need to make more jokes on the left side.
Can you do the symbology change one more time, please?
Alright, if I want to change the symbology, I can double click the symbol and choose maybe from pre-selected ones or create my own. In this case, I choose my own, the pre-selected ones.
Thank you.
Let's say do a yellow to offset that more. Okay?
Yes.
Just to let you know, the points in the beginning was almost a full hour. The path settings right now, well, we did do the attribute table, She is rocking it out right now. So.
Oh, sorry.
The attribute table, we didn't do that for the polylines. It took us just about 20 minutes. Huh? Let's do building footprints. Polygons. Alright? Alright. To get ready and prepared. Not yet?
Yeah.
To get ready and prepared, make sure that you are not in an edit session. If you are in an edit session, save your edits, stop the edit session.
Wait, why did mine go on blue now? Alright, wait.
Yeah, it's just about that. Yeah, you know how to
Okay, so now how do I stop?
Okay.
Oh, okay, so then if I want to go somewhere else,
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you press this Charlie button for
And then change all the
back on
colors.
that.
She's having the same thing. Wait.
And you click only once, you don't hold the button down. Click once in the map, click the next waypoint, click, click, and you're done. Huh? So you click for a start, you find the next location where you want to maybe turn, and then when you're at your endpoint, you double click and close. Okay?
Save it, I just go to editor.
Save edits,
Oh, wow.
stop editing. Alright, and then change symbology. Alright, let's do polygons. So we are in real estate development. Why would we do polygons?
Footprint of buildings?
Footprint of buildings, mark up areas on our property, maybe even do a mini site plan sketch and say on this larger property, this is an area where I want to have green space, buildings, just like make, let's say, a mock-up. Doesn't have to be a design component. Yeah. Let's do footprints of buildings. But before we do that, how do we create a polygon shapefile?
Before you move on, that line that you have right there,
Wait.
my line turned blue.
Light blue?
Yeah.
Are you selected?
When I double clicked it, it shows it
Yeah,
orange.
because it's selection. This is the current item you're working on is the selected item.
Okay.
So that's pretty much simple.
Because it shows
selection.
blue first, I mean orange first, and as soon as I double click it to stop it.
Because that's the one you selected.
Okay, so I'm fine.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you save and say stop editing,
Okay.
yeah, because it's the selection color.
Okay.
My question is I do the lines and they come degrees off from the pad. I don't know why. Same thing over here.
Okay.
So I'll do another
Let me
one.
double check one more thing. Where's it? Wrong projection system. So
How would we rectify that?
not right now, not yet.
Okay,
This is,
just checking.
if you look at catalog, there should be something off with the coordinate system. That we might have, should be the same. Huh, weird. But not breaking a leg with that. But we need to double check that you're doing this the right way, otherwise I'm like, why did you digitize College Avenue if you want to do university?
Right.
Huh? Alright. How do I create a shapefile?
You go right click and then
Our catalog. So, in our catalog, right click, new, shapefile. Someone else. If I want to create now buildings and building footprints and use polygons, what do I need to change? Name and feature type. Alright. Name is easy, we call it buildings.
Okay.
Now, do not press enter. Do not, just type it in. Feature type? Polygon. Coordinate system? Danilo, how do I change my coordinate system?
You go to edit,
I go to edit. What else?
and then you go to geographic coordinate system. And then you go to
Geographic coordinate
world,
systems?
And then you go to world, and then you find 1984.
Okay.
Slow down.
Good.
No, you did hold it.
And then I click OK. Everyone got this?
We need like a minute to get on track.
Ed and Grant, are you guys doing okay?
Yeah.
All right,
He
cool.
said buildings?
Yeah, those.
Shapefile, right?
Polygon.
Yep.
How do I delete the,
Same thing as
you sure want to delete? Yes. Fail to delete. Cannot acquire schema lock because of an existing.
And cache.
Huh?
Cache. In your case, I would just lean back and observe. Yep. All right.
I created the building, whatchamacallit, the shapefile,
Mhm.
but I forgot to connect the,
Egg tripping.
Here, hold it. That's it.
yeah, but I forgot to connect the,
Connect what?
huh?
Connect what?
The data behind the,
Protection.
projection.
Delete it.
I'm
Assign.
trying to. I deleted it, it's not allowing me to. Fail to delete selected object, cannot acquire scheme. Well, I can just create another one, right?
Create another one.
So it's right here.
Create another one. And you don't have to call it SHP at the end. Just call it building.
Building 2.
All right, got this? Hit fire. Okay. Okay. Drag and drop. Add data to the map. If you have ArcCatalog open and ArcMap at the same time, drag and drop. Change back to your ArcMap project. All right?
Is there location? Table of content has to be over basement.
Yeah, we can get rid of that. All right, let's find a building we like. Easy one. So I'm moving out here, moving out here. Let's go up here to the Horwitz building. Yeah, so parking lot. Parking lot with our cars. We go up a little bit north to the administration Horwitz building here. Easy to find. You have this oval shaped roundabout thing, and you have the building here. Okay, everyone sees that?
Yep.
We could bookmark it, we don't have to, but I want to put this in 1 to 1000 scale, so I'm true with the other stuff. All right. Buildings. So this is a little bit exotic because it's not really right shaped, right angle shape. Yeah? And the trick is we technically what we call roof lines. We're digitizing actually the roof line of this one, not the footprint. Because the way the camera is looking down, you might not see the footprint, but you see in this case the roof line. Yeah? Because you don't know if that border here is actually an overhang or the real true foundation, the footprint itself. Yeah? So most of the building footprints are usually roof lines. And if the GIS guys are really smart, they call it roof lines. Building footprints are usually coming from the architectural offices and the building plans. Yeah? So for us right now, we call it buildings, but we're going to follow the roof lines to learn how we digitize polygons. Okay? That said, I have buildings here. I open up a edit session, start editing.
Buildings.
Click on buildings, confirm. If there's a spatial mismatch, I will confirm. And the reason why I can confirm is because I'm not interested in the McDonald's layer. and have open heart surgery on our building. Give me one moment, because this is the first time we're doing this. Hi. Somewhere. You're somewhere. You didn't pick my campus. And then zoom into the grade. You see how you use the zoom envelope. And draw an envelope around this area. Click here. Keep it clicked down. Okay? Perfect. Yep.
Like I don't, you see in the creative features, how you have the buildings, cars, tabs, and I have buildings and
Okay.
yeah, but I'm saying like you see how your setup is.
Too easy for you?
Yeah, because you're just like
It's always really like kind of refresh, you know, basics, but
You work with this every day, right?
not every day. Like every once in a while, we'll do some maps if we need to.
cool. So similar
I
to
need
what
your
we did
phone if I
before,
need help.
we had an active edit session. Again, picture this. Table, patient on the table, chest is open. Yeah? So I click here on the buildings, on the create feature, and you can see here variations. Yeah? Freehand, polygon, rectangle. I'm clicking on polygon. And I have the crosshairs again. And now I'm going to start in the top left corner.
You always start top left?
Personal habit. Personal habit as in, what's your workflow over the screen? Like remember with the cars, I didn't start top left with the cars, but I moved in one direction. The last thing you want to do is hop all over the place. Be consistent with one direction. Think about this. If I would do edits, and I'm pressing the C Charlie button, in an edit session, I could actually move this now here multiple times. If I move only straight to the left, I know exactly where I am. Pressing the C button again, I can move without even accidentally digitizing because I press still that button down. I release the button, I go back into my edit mode. So if you want to digitize a few things at the same scale, not zoom in, zoom out all the time, that hand here, for its shortcut, the Z button, helps. It even tells you other functions here. Yeah? Click to recenter the map, double click to recenter, zoom in, shift, yeah? Shortcut, hold down the C key, yeah? Even can roam around the map, hold down the Q key. Yeah? All right, top left corner.
Question. How do I get my polygon in the editor? I don't have it active.
You probably didn't click on the construction
Did you
tool.
start an edit session?
Yeah.
He probably didn't click on
building.
the building and then construction tool.
You gotta go back to the problem.
Click on the building here, click on polygon.
Remember how we changed this to polygon instead of points?
All right, double check.
So you have to do it all.
So I have to bring buildings in.
Yeah.
Do I need to remove this?
Oh, we can't even go to the bathroom. If we go to the bathroom, we'll just miss.
I
All right.
tried.
All right, give me one more. You might be, let's take a look where you sit. You have point, not polygon. See that?
Okay, yeah.
So you gotta go back in our catalog and create a new one. Shapefile, all build, and then here, important, polygon. All right. All right.
Intensity é tá fazendo 3 classes de peixe.
You guys doing it?
Quando chegou no final do. Isso dá no esquema. Agora tô fazendo uma.
Third attempt. Top left corner. Please. In the top left corner, you got to aim for where those lines might cross because there's a boundary. one single click. Yeah? And then I move out. Right now it looks like a line. Because I only have one point. Remember, polygon, start point, line, vertice, 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 and then end point is the same. Yeah? So right now I just see a line because I only have one point.
Click the little arrow thing. There. Or delete it. Click it.
Your building is 2.5. So, have you digitized the polygon?
For how long?
Here, building is a point. You
E
click
agora
the
as classes já mudaram o sistema. Antes era weekdays e weekends. Aí eles remanejaram as classes e eu já fiz muitas dessas classes. Eu já fiz, só que eu não fiz.
And this was looking at you. Or you can also go
Feito tá
to
fazendo aquela
attributes
online,
where you do
online.
attributes and then just delete it.
Essa eu já fiz.
Where you, how do you do it?
Sofreu, ele é tranquilo.
Right click.
É tranquilo. Só tem uma parte do assignment.
There's nothing there.
Spreadsheet.
Click on
Os
this.
spreadsheets são bem complicados. Você tem que prestar atenção.
Yeah, you don't have anything.
Se você tem que prestar atenção, parar.
I accidental.
De repente eu vou te pedir uma ajuda.
Alright, well, I'll just leave it there.
Você vai ver o que
Yeah.
A outra que nós temos é render. Que ele tá
eu já fiz também.
Big new shapefile.
Isso. Que tem o jogo lá no final.
Call it building. Building, so buildings 2. Yep, buildings 2.
Tem que ler o limite, que ele não vê.
Essa eu fiz.
Nós temos
Type is
midterm agora, né?
polygon.
Mas foi a classe que eu fiz, o projeto do Airbook. Foi essa do ano.
Ah, tá. Ele tá fazendo.
Try and do it again.
Mas vocês tiveram a classe normal?
Você fez a classe normal. Foi
Além do.
Clicking that little back button.
Foi um assignment do
Drag and drop with your map.
da classe. Aí você teve que entregar o.
See how it
Mas
changes.
o midterm,
Has a polygon.
tu não lembra?
Drag and drop.
Tranquilo.
Start the edit session. Same thing for you.
Double just double click it.
Alright, why didn't you follow us?
Don't stop and then try to go.
I missed stuff.
Alright. Right click on it on your work folder. Right click on your work folder. No, on the work folder, not somewhere in on the work.
Eu peguei esse também, fiz mudanças com os professores.
Shapefile.
And if I go back to polygon,
Tinha tive
All buildings 2.
dois professores que foram excepcionais.
Change
Então,
to polygon.
start editing. Oh, it disappeared.
Change the edit.
depois de
Edit. Didn't say okay.
Land Use
Alright,
Regulation,
start over. Buildings number 3.
lógico, o cara pediu pra cacete. E o outro foi
You just said to click on
Shapefile.
Development 1. E o cara,
Buildings 3.
quer dizer, bom, uma bomba que você leva.
Polygon.
Esses dois professores saíram porque eles
Edit.
chega dele.
Geographic coordinate
Então
systems.
quem tá dando essa classe agora, eu não sei quem vai fazer Land Use Regulation. Quem tá fazendo
vários
Geographic Systems.
Ele vai me dar 7 canais.
É isso que eu não tô.
WGS 18.
Porque eles são uma pessoa, mas tem certas coisas que eles não tem, sabe? Então,
Okay.
acabei de fazer a classe de construção com eles.
Okay.
Horrível.
Alright, drag and drop in your map.
No meu comentário ele falei, você sabe, Deus,
Na prática,
tem que ter não é só para fazer.
Não, eu digo que ele tem que ter prática. Eu dava aula lá no Brasil, na faculdade de Caxias, de transações imobiliárias. Minha aula é só
Still have this one point there. Officially 1 minute overtime for that section. Now I'm going. Tell us which direction you want to go. Counter or clockwise?
Hey, I'm just sticking with the plan, right? So left.
Alright, let's do clockwise. Alright. So I click here gently once. And when I move out, you can see now I have a green and a red dot. and I have those rubber bands following me. Yeah? It's literally called the rubber band line. And anecdotally, I wrote on the weekend a version of that in a standalone machine on, for ArcMap, and therefore I got a 4-year full funding for a doctoral program. Moved from mouse clicking into developer section. So we are friends, that rubber line. Alright, so I do straight lines right now. I can tell you the story later. And I can gently click smaller steps to mimic the arc here in the building. Yeah? And do the corner. And go back to the next area where the arc ends. Now you can see the moment I clicked, it fills it up because now it thinks it's a polygon. I have enough points that it thinks, hey, I'm growing here.
Alright, I screwed up.
Alright, if you screwed up in the early stages, click escape or delete, or right click on it, and you have all these different features here for delete sketch or finish sketch, or you actually can get rid of 1 or 2 points only.
Okay.
Yeah?
Just FYI, I did those steps and it didn't give me at least a triangle shape. It didn't give me that.
Alright, let me finish this first before I start my round. Again here, to get the arc, the curve here, I'm doing small little single clicks to follow this. One line here, one line here. Again, I follow the arc just a little bit, approximately.
What?
And now it's getting complicated. See how this overlaps? So I barely can see it now. And do just a few clicks. My last click is going to be a double, because I want to close this. Huh? And you can see, not completely perfect, rounded here, a little bit better there, lost my patience. Huh? All right. Yeah, you crisscrossed some of your points. Looks like you actually went back from this one to this one. So what you can do is F2 is delete the sketch, I think, or right click on it, and just start over. For small things we do is start over. Looks good.
Thank you.
Almost. And you can double click right here and closes it. Right. Everyone got something like this on the screen right now?
Yep.
All right. All right. One thing, let's say if you edit. Another thing, I can't see through. I have no idea if I'm doing this the right way or not.
So just change your thing,
I could change my fill,
yeah.
or I introduce my class to a new cool function. If I go on buildings, double click on buildings, let's move this up so you can see this.
Do we stop editing?
No, we are full throttle in the editing session still. There's this whole thing, this tab called display. Yeah? So we had, over the course of this very few sessions, we had channel, we had symbology a lot, yeah? Now we have display.
You have to click on
In display, I can type in 50%. And if I hit apply, you can see it moves 50% transparency. So now I can see through this. Don't have to change my color settings. I can just change it. And to give you an idea, 35% looks pretty cool usually. Yeah. 75 is a little bit too much. It's barely that you see something there, yeah? In that light color we have right now.
But you can go hollow.
Mine isn't covering this space like
You could do a hollow, but then
click.
it's about seeing where you're at right now in your progress. So I like to have the semi-transparent fill. If I do digitizing of polygons, you could do an extreme standout contrast color like purple. I digitize in purple all the time. Yeah? Personal preferences.
Click.
All right. Did we save our edits?
Okay.
Save edits. If you don't know that you saved them, just save them. When in doubt, save your edits.
You saw me clicking,
Alright,
right?
we use the C button to move our map. C key, as in Charlie.
Wait,
And we go north.
the scaling is off maybe.
Huh?
Just do it.
That's the law school. And for the purpose of another building footprint digitizing, we're just putting this one up. Please note that you now can see that they're actually down here is a structure, like a patio. Right now we want to only do the squared roof line to have one more building. So I click on building, click on polygon, top left corner, follow the roof line I want to digitize, single click for the edge point, single click for the next edge.
So that little arc, what is that, like the sidewalk or something?
No, the self-curving for the windows there. And this is my last point, so I can actually double click it. Again, doesn't have to be completely perfect, but at least two more elements. So now I can do save my edits, stop my edits, and maybe zoom out a little bit to see what I've done so far. Yeah? So this big dragon monster called digitizing is like purring kitten right now. We learned how to do digitizing on points, polylines, polygons with variations, how to add a field to a table, how to manipulate data inside the table. Yes, please.
How do I change the thickness of the line around the perimeter of the building?
Symbology.
Symbology.
Yeah, outline, symbology. Like here, I can make this super fat.
Oh, outline with, there you go. Good.
Yeah?
Good. Yeah, thank you.
Simple thing, part of assignment book.
I just did it 3 times around the Corvettes building, and it's not working. So this is the
You're trigger happy when it comes to digitizing. Okay, F2 for delete the sketch.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Just
Top left corner. Yeah, yeah. And then just get the rough edges, don't do the arcs. Just rough edges like this corner. Yep. And this one is too close, just simply double click it. Double click it. Alright, this is because of some projection error thing. Okay. Hold your horses. Breathe. You got the process. We're going to fix the problem here on the screen.
Just go to the next one. Go to the next element.
Don't worry about it. You got this. Yeah. We gotta check if you gotta go through your data creation here. Do me a favor, since you're not in the site planning class. We have a guest speaker, so I have to run. If we get 5 minutes early out today, we're going to take care of you. If not, on Tuesday. Do you have a computer at home?
I do, but
Try this at home.
I have a Microsoft Surface.
Try this on the Surface, install it.
Okay.
It should be fine.
Alright.
It might look a little bit different with the buttons,
Yeah.
because of the size,
Yeah.
but the function should be fine. Alright. Cool. Oh, we gotta do some fun stuff. More fun than this. Alright. Alright. Hands-on exercise today. We learned how to digitize. We learned how to digitize the points, polylines, and polygons. We learned how to create those shapefiles, how to add fields, add attributes or values to those fields. We used the field calculator for global and for selection. Yeah? What we didn't do yet is use the field calculator to make, let's say, calculations 1 + 2 with multiple fields. Yeah? But again, just simply like in Excel, add A + B = my field. Yeah? So not worried about that. We learned a little bit more about handling on our data. That's fine. save everything.
Stop editing.
Stop edit, save edits, stop edits, stop edit session, and save everything.
Edit, stop edit.
Close out. For those who use downloads and not their jump drive, make sure that at the end of the session you have your data on your jump drive to take it home. A, for practicing, and B, for backup. Because we are at the stage with our work already that if you lose the data, you are getting in trouble with the next step. Yeah? I provide basic data, but sometimes if you digitize a different building, you might want to keep adding to that building. Okay. In our catalog, yeah? In our catalog, we're learning one more new thing. And then we close all the desktop stuff today. In our catalog, there is another function we can create that is called a geodatabase. That's that canned symbol you have seen in your tutorial data. Yeah? So far we dealt with shapefiles, SHP. Let's crack the soda pop open. Right click on it, hit new, and use the file geodatabase, not the personal stuff. File geodatabase. When we refer in this class to geodatabase, we are using file geodatabase. Yeah? Then click on it. One click open. Now it pops up with new file geodatabase GDB, and I call that Digitization.